It's a homecoming of sorts. Bridgewater State alum Walter Pascal, head coach of the Framingham State Rams, brings his team back down to Route 104 for a matchup against the best team in MASCAC women's basketball, the Bridgewater State Bears. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Tinsley Center for the second half of our MASCAC basketball doubleheader here on the Bears Sports Network. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Luke Mansfield.
These are two teams that come in with very formidable records so far this year. Bears, of course, have been stellar so far this season, 15-4 overall, undefeated 6-0 in MASCAC play. They're looking to turn an 8-game win streak into 9 today. But the Rams are certainly tough customers themselves. They come in 12-4. 4-2 in MASCAC play. They're looking to win back-to-back games if they can pull one out here today, and there is no reason to believe they couldn't.
Yeah, Bridgewater's coming off a big win against MCLA just on Wednesday, a 57-point win. Sophomore Kylie Grassi led the way with 18 points in that one, followed by Erin Rice off the bench with 15. Sophia Goucher, I think, is going to be back for this game. She was out last time on Wednesday.
Indeed.
Caroline Tripp took her spot in the starting lineup. Erin Rice became the sixth person out off the bench.
And Goucher certainly a welcome sight for them. She's getting the start today for the Bears, alongside Grassi, Peachy, Bradbury, and Cleveland. And for the visiting Rams, it'll be Catherine Hazelton, Jenna Tavanese, Flannery O'Connor, who has had an absolute career year of her own, alongside Caddy Heidel and Gwendolyn Carpenter. Ram starters making their way onto the court. Framingham State not going to be pushovers today. These two teams have already met earlier this season. Bears came away with a win there. That was 75-58, the second game of this ongoing 8-game win streak that the Bears have assembled. But there is no reason to believe that things will be quite as easy this time around.
Yeah, the Bears looking to carry their recent momentum into today. We see their roster, or their starting lineup coming out right now. Grassi's been the story of the season for the Bears just in her sophomore year, averaging 17.2 points per game.
Grassi, she's had such a decorated year. 4 times she has been named to the New England Women's Basketball Association Team of the Week. That includes, just this past week, 3 times she has been the MASCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week. She has had an absolutely star-studded season here with the Bears.
I believe she also got that just this last week as well. She's had racked up quite the hardware in just her sophomore season.
The house stays packed. And the second half of our doubleheader is just moments away. Head coach Bridget Casey of the Bears on your screen, gathering the troops. This is going to be a fun one here today, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. The Bridgewater team has been a fun one to watch all year, as has the Framingham team. Both winning records, both very solid records. Of course, Bridgewater does have that 6-0 in the MASCAC, where Framingham stands at 3-2. In Bridgewater, we talked about Grassi scoring a little bit earlier, but they really spread the ball out. Sydney Bradbury, second on the team, 12.2 points per game. Cleveland, 8.7, and Goucher, 8.3. So they definitely got a starting 5 who can score.
Absolutely, and as a counterpoint, it's worth noting Framingham not so bad at that themselves. They spread it out a lot, but certainly a whole lot of the game goes through the hands of their junior star, Flannery O'Connor, the masked marauder out there, number 12 in black and yellow. It's going to be fascinating to see how Grassi and O'Connor match up, and we are underway. Grassi, speak of the devil, comes away with the tip. Cleveland kicks it across to Bradbury at the right wing. She kicks it into the corner for Goucher. Goucher trying to find an outlet. Long pass over. Pesci wants it from the left wing for three, and she bags it to put the Bears on the board first. 3-0.
You see Sophia Goucher out there, number 10, rocking some shoulder tape on her right arm. Possibly the reason why she sat out on Wednesday.
At the top of the key for Trace, Hazelton off the front rim, rebounded by Pesci. Pesci will take it all the way back across for the Bears. Bradbury from the right wing for three, and two early triples put the Bears up 6-0, less than a minute in.
One thing I think might be something worth noting is Bridgewater only has 2 players on their roster over 5'10", where there's, I think, 5 of them on the Framingham roster, so they got a little bit more size going with them.
Absolutely. It's going to be a bit of a mismatch all day for these two units. Carpenter working her way in, tosses it up, and she gets the roll to put the Rams on the board. Gwendolyn Carpenter from way out west in the valley, the village of Ashley Falls. Goucher at the top of the key, kicks it across to Bradbury. Pesci in the corner on the right, looking for Grassi at the top of the key. She steps her way in, kicks it back out. Goucher thought three, said nah. Across, Grassi thought three, said no, and on her way in, she's fouled. Guilty party's going to be Tavanese.
Yeah, it looks like she just slapped Greg. No, she went from behind her and just got her hand in there. I think she might have made contact with her arm.
And we have our first personal foul of the day. Bradbury back over in the corner. Bradbury gets it back, left wing, three, rattles around, no good, rebounded by Caddy Heidel. Carpenter back across. On the right side, bouncer inside to O'Connor, just muscles her way through for two more. She is really something to behold, Flannery O'Connor. She has been one of the best players in MASCAC basketball so far this year.
Bradbury is definitely not someone afraid to take three. She had 12 points on Wednesday, all of them off of three-pointers. That one's out on Framingham.
Looked like it was disrupted on the pass attempt by Bradbury. We're going to get another look at it.
I think it was Hazelton.
Yes, indeed, just off her left-hand side out from the baseline for Bridgewater into Bradbury. Now to Goucher at the top of the key. She'll try the triple, and she bags it. All three made field goals for the Bears so far in the first couple of minutes have been threes, and they enjoy a 5-point advantage over the Rams. 7:40 to go in the first quarter. O'Connor working on Cleveland, drops it for Hazelton at the right wing. She tries to work her way inside from the right, arc it up, no good, rebounded by Cleveland. Goucher gets interrupted, great strip by the Rams, but they can't hold on to it. Tavanese loses the grip. Cleveland looked like she got the steal, and here comes Bradbury working her way up the left post, trying to work over O'Connor, and she does. That's not easy work.
That was some great defense by Cleveland down the other end after Goucher was double-teamed and lost it. Cleveland was able to recover it quickly for the Bears.
Bears lead at 11-4, just over 7 minutes to go up, and that was not an easy shot. Great finish by Catherine Hazelton. Grassi trying to do the same thing, no bucket, but she's fouled.
So we'll send you guys to the replay to look at what Cleveland did on defense. Looks like she just knocked it away from Hazelton with her arm and got that one out to Bradbury pretty quickly. Nice reaction time by her, able to capitalize and not let a turnover turn into points.
Rams, sorry.
I was just going to say Grassie's at the line shooting 2.
Rams head coach Walter Pascal animated early. He's going to send in Crystalie Fernandez, the Connecticut native, averaging 4.7 points a game. Fernandez, the shortest player on this roster by a good couple inches, 5'2". And the Rams are going to start to work a little bit smaller. Bears with a 7-point lead, 6:50 to go in the first quarter. Heidel, now O'Connor at the top of the key, kicks it across. The three is way overshot for Heidel. Correction for Carpenter, but the Rams are able to maintain.
Yeah, that was some nice effort there by Crystalie Fernandez, throwing it back in as she went out of bounds. That's going to be a foul on Flannery O'Connor.
Tough look for Flannery O'Connor. She is stripped, and she's called for the foul. Here it is, the pass inside. Looks like Bradbury / Grassi get a piece of it, and then O'Connor trying to recover it off of Goucher.
They just sent her to the floor.
6.5 to go in the first quarter. Pesci's going to take it across for the Bears. Bradbury at the left wing, kicks it inside, finds Pesci cutting in, but she can't finish. Rebounded by Heidel. Carpenter trying to take out the do-it-yourself kid, heaves it up. No bucket, but she draws the contact.
In case you're just joining us, the men's teams for both these schools faced off just a little bit ago. Bridgewater State grabbing the victory in that one. The women's team will look to complete the sweep on the day.
Inbounded, and here's Hazelton trying to toss it up. No good. Cleveland eventually gets it after some traffic. Goucher taking it across. Outside to Grassi, thought about a three, said nah, she's going to put some footwork on. Pass across, and a great steal off the pass by Carpenter. What an excellent read, and she's going to get the 2 easiest points the Rams will have all day.
Fantastic read by Carpenter, just getting inside the passing lane and picking that one off.
Pesci can't finish the layup, rebounded by Heidel. Bears lead has been trimmed to 5. 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Working her way inside, tossing it up, and getting the bucket is Cristally Fernandez.
Heidel, a big part of that size advantage on Framingham, coming in at 5'11". Bridgewater doesn't have anyone around there on the floor right now.
Bears lead is just 3 now. From the right wing, 3 for Bradbury, rolls around, no good, rebounded by Carpenter. Bears strip it right back from her, but the Rams are putting in a tough defensive sequence and eventually corralled by Cleveland. A tough block there. Grassi is absolutely ganged up on as she makes her way up to the bucket.
Nice, a couple nice heads-up plays by Ariel Cleveland here. Getting the ball back for Bridgewater and then getting it over to Grassi quickly. It's Caroline Tripp comes on for Bradbury, and Aaron Rice in for Peachy.
That blocking foul is going to be on Catherine Hazelton. Just her first on the day.
Rice saw a big day off the bench on Wednesday with 15 points.
Aaron Rice has been a huge contributor the last few games, especially in MASCAC play off the bench for the Bears.
And with Goucher out Wednesday even more so, she saw a lot of time as their 6th option. And there's their usual 6th option, Caroline Tripp, out there joining her on the court right now.
Both free throws good, and the Bears clamber back up to a 5-point lead. 5:11 to go in the first quarter, taking it across. Hazelton, she's just going to try to work her way in all by herself. Rainbow too high, but grabbed easily by O'Connor. Here at the free throw line, 2 points for Caddy Heidel. Just under 5 to go in the quarter. Bears lead back down to 3. Rice thought about a right wing 3, said no, dishes it inside. A little bit of a hockey assist, and the right corner 3 is true for Kylie Grassi.
Nice pass by Tripp right there. Down and deep, just swings it out to Grassi in the corner for a beautiful 3.
O'Connor drops it back out. Carpenter trying to find somebody inside. Passes it way across instead. Fighting inside, and the Bears come away with the scrum. Hazelton couldn't get the angle she wanted. Here comes Tripp. Taking it up in the lane, the floater. No basket, and she charged. Offensive foul on Caroline Tripp. And the Rams force an important turnover.
Get a replay of that right here. She just goes up and runs into Gwendolyn Carpenter while she's on the air, sending her onto her back. So that's the 2nd team foul for the Bears so far. That's Tripp's 1st.
Bears lead it by 6, 18-12. 4:13 to go in the first quarter. Here's O'Connor. Hazelton dropping it for Heidel. She's trying to step her way in. A lot of people are falling over, and I believe that's going to be a blocking foul on Goucher. Goucher picks up her first personal.
I don't really think Goucher got her hands in there or anything, just kind of had them up and fell over with Heidel. But nevertheless, blocking foul is the call.
Looked like she wanted a charge of some kind, but she was trying to set herself up, but she stayed in motion too long. Heidel underneath just foists it up and in. Bears lead trimmed back down to 4 with 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Goucher kick out to Grassi, trying to step inside. Top of the key, Tripp passes it over to Rice. Circling around, and Goucher trying to bounce it underneath to Cleveland. Cleveland wheels around and tosses up 2 points.
Cleveland really one of the players on the team that thrives in the paint, whether that be defensively or offensively, and she does it right there.
Hazelton thought about a 3, said no, and she is dragooned on her way in. I think that might be another foul on Goucher, yes indeed, and she's picked up 2 quick ones.
Kelsey Yell coming in now, and out goes Flannery O'Connor.
And so too is Goucher going to get a breather. Jordan Peebles comes in to take her place. Kelsey Yell, some Southeastern Mass rep from Southeastern. 3.5 to go in quarter number 1. Fernandez working on Grassi, trying to spin around, nearly loses the handle, just holds on to it. They're going to call a jump ball. The possession arrow will turn it over to Bridgewater.
Nice defense by Peebles and Grassi there, able to force the turnover and get control of it for Bridgewater. They have a slim lead right now, and it's not something they want to lose.
Only up by 6, just over 3 to go in the first quarter. Cleveland across to a cutting trip. She kicks it back out. Grassi thought about a right wing 3 and really taking the left wing 3, rolling around in and out. That was halfway down for Rice. Rebounded by Fernandez.
Unlucky bounce for Aaron Rice right there. Grassi with a nice breakup.
That pick and roll interrupted, and the Bears are going to come back the other way. Tripp waiting for the crew to set. Grassi at the top of the key looking for an outlet, finds it. Cleveland inside to Tripp on the right post. She's going to drop it back out. Cleveland a 3. Another one in and out. Some of these are halfway down for Bridgewater State from distance. The Bears lead remains just 6. 2:36 to go in the first quarter. Fernandez, correction. Carpenter working her way in, tosses it up, no good. Rebound disputed, corralled by Cleveland. Up ahead, Rice trying to find somebody. Grassi is fouled. Takes a tumble on her way down.
Gabriella Redford, the freshman for Framingham, getting ready to come on. They'll call the foul on Heidel.
I think they might have gotten Fernandez actually, and she's going to take a seat with just one personal. Kylie Grassi, what hasn't she done for this Bears team so far this season as she makes the first free throw? An absolutely decorated year. Someone who was in and out last year, saw some good time with this Bears lineup, but she has really flourished so far this season.
Not necessarily the player I'd want to send to the line if I were Framingham either.
Certainly not. 2:16 to go in the quarter. Bears lead is back up to 8. Hazelton trying to find somebody to bounce it to. She gets it to Yell. Yell heaves it up, no good, and corralling it. And I believe drawing the foul, a heads-up play underneath by Carpenter. She grabs it like a football pass, does Gwendolyn Carpenter, and she earns herself a trip to the stripe.
Tripp subs out, Peachy in. Tripp was stating her case with the ref right there. But obviously she lost that battle as she gets called with a foul.
Gwendolyn Carpenter, an 81.8% free throw shooter. She bags the first. Carpenter comes in averaging 7.3 points a game, and if you can believe this, standing just 5'4", she averages 5.1 rebounds a game. But her main source of point creation is dishing it out. She comes in with nearly 6 assists per contest.
Bears lead 22-16. 12 of those points have been Kylie Grassi. It's off to a hot start for her already in just the first quarter.
Rice driving in on the baseline, kicks it over to Cleveland underneath. She can't finish the job. Rebounded by the Rams, and specifically by Hazelton. Long pass over to Redford. Back out to Carpenter. She wants an outlet as she's working on Peachy. She'll just take it herself from 3. Offside iron, offensive board, and tossed back up. Great stick-to-itiveness by Kelsey Yell. Bears lead is back down to 4. At the top of the key, Rice for 3. Off front iron, offensive board, Grassi. She'll float it back up, and that one's no good either. Rebounded by Yell. 1:17 to go in the quarter. Heidel in the left mid-range, drops it back out to Hazelton. Thought about a 3 as she's working on Rice, but said no. She'll step inside, drop back. Carpenter on the right side, trying to find somebody, anybody. Shot clock is in single digits, out of bounds, and it's going Bridgewater's way.
Bradbury's getting ready to come on. It looks like Cleveland's coming off. She had a nice defensive play right there, not letting anything up.
Officials say it nicked just enough to be Bears ball. Under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, for a second I thought that one might have been out on Cleveland.
It was a very close look, that's for sure. Peebles, now Bradbury at the left wing, kicks it over to Peachy, driving in the lane. She's going to try to pass it back out, and she throws it away to Yell.
Yeah, Grassy was standing there on the opposite side. Peachy was covered well, not able to get it over to her. That results in the turnover.
Underneath, great eyes by Hazelton, passing it to Yell, who draws the contact right underneath.
Yeah, they're going to hit Rice with a foul right there, sending Hazelton to the line, or sending Yell to the line with 2.
Yell doesn't take a lot of free throws. She's 3 for 8 from the charity stripe this year. Make that 4 for 9. Kelsey Yell often standing in that height position. That's what you do when you're on this team and you're 5'10", and both free throws are good. She is a perfect 50%. Exactly 50%, I should say, from the free throw line. Just a couple seconds difference between shot and game clocks. Peachy worked on by Heidel. She's going to try to step in, work through a double team. She loses it. And the last possession of the quarter is going to belong to the Rams if they so choose.
Yeah, it looks like it might have kicked off of Peachy's shoe right there as Gabriella Redford got her hand on it.
Carpenter's going to try to put this one in molasses a bit. She's worked on by Peachy. Trying to spin around, find someone to bounce it to. She finds Hazelton. Hazelton trying to step in, heaves it up, and gets a really lucky roll at the buzzer. Yowza! What a bucket from Catherine Hazelton to end this one, and we've got a tie game after 10 minutes of action. Two of the best teams in MASCAC women's basketball. They're all drawn up at 22 after one quarter. We'll be right back with you in just a second here on the Bears Sports Network.
We come back to the second quarter, all tied up. Kylie Grassy leads both teams in scoring with 12, followed by Gwendolyn Carpenter of Framingham State with 6.
We knew coming in this would be a tight one, and that is exactly what we've received here today. As we mentioned right before that little pause, two of the best teams in MASCAC women's basketball. These are two teams with serious designs on conference championship play. Framingham is going to start out this quarter with possession. Inbound from Hazelton to Carpenter, and we're off. Carpenter working on Peachy, across to Hazelton at the right wing, worked on by Bradbury. Stepping back, trying to find a bouncer underneath, and that is great eyesight by Yell, just puts it over and in. Rams with a 2-point lead. Rice at the right wing, trying to find an outlet, finds Bradbury. Grassy gets it back at the same spot where Rice was, and she's going to pull it back out. 9.5 to go in the second quarter, excuse me. Rams lead by 2. Grassy stepping her way into the lane, trying to toss it up, and there's a foul.
I think that's Kylie Grassy's 3rd trip to the free throw line.
Guilty party is going to be Jenna Tavanese. She picks up her 2nd personal. And 2 free throws coming up for Kylie Grassy. Like you mentioned, Luke, not somebody you want to send to the free throw line. Usually, I should say, if you're a defense. Cleveland is going to be stepping back in a moment. Peebles is out there to start the second quarter. Grassy takes it, makes it, and goes 1 for 2. And here comes Cleveland in Peebles' stead. 1-point game, Rams with the advantage. 9:21 to go in the first half. Carpenter looking to take it easy again. Toss across to Hazelton. Gets it back from O'Connor. Hazelton outside 3 from the right wing is off the iron for Tavanese, rebounded by Bradbury. Grassi takes it across into the right mid-range, kicks it over to Pishi. Now from the left elbow, off the back iron for Cleveland. Rebound poked away by Rice, and she gets it back. That one's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to be Rams' ball.
Nice job by Erin Rice there, remaining in control of the rebound. Heidel's coming back in. Kevin East comes off.
Rams looking to go tall as they get another possession. We have slipped under the 9-minute mark in the first half. Rams lead by 1. Heidel now to O'Connor, kicks it across to Carpenter. Top of the key 3 is off the iron for Hazelton, rebounded by O'Connor. In the left corner, she tracks it down, passes it out, nearly throws it away, but Carpenter able to recover, in the backcourt. Coming up underneath, stuffed and fouled is Kelsey Yell.
I think they're going to hit Erin Rice with her second foul of the game there. She went up for it. I think there might have been some contact with that right arm.
Kelsey Yell looking to improve to 7 and 12 from the free throw line this year. First one is true, and the Rams back in front by 2. 8:23 to go in the first half. Yell makes them both, 7 and 12 from the stripe on the season, and she puts the Rams up 3 points. Cleveland at the left wing, trying to find somebody interior. She'll work her way in herself a bit, posting up, dropped back out. Rice now coming in on the left post. Kicks it out to Pishi, working her way in from the left, trying to stuff it underneath. She can't do it, and it is stripped away by Heidel. Heidel with the stifling defense. She gets it to Yell. Yell underneath, floats it up, no good, gets her own miss, and she's fouled again. And the Rams are drawing a whole ton of contact in the paint early in this game.
Kayla Thomas getting ready to come on for Erin Rice. That's the first action we've seen from Thomas so far today.
That foul, I believe, is going to be on Bradbury.
Yell is not someone who has seen that many trips to the free throw line this season, as you've pointed out. This is already her 3rd.
They're giving her a lot, and she is really making the most of it. This is someone, like you mentioned, she comes in 3 for 8 from the line on her year. She's now 8 for 13. Make that 9 for 14. That's 6 free throws that Kelsey Yell has already received, courtesy of the Bridgewater State Bears. Left wing 3 for Bradbury, off back iron, no good, rebounded by O'Connor. Carpenter, and now she wants to work with some juice. Breaking her way into the right mid-range, she's going to step back, cross-court pass. Deep 3 is true for Catherine Hazelton. And the Rams are starting to break away. 31-23, 7.5 to go in the first half.
That last points the Bears scored were off that Grassi free throw just a couple possessions ago. So it's been a while for them without a score.
Pishi now to Grassi, wants a left wing 3, no good. Tough miss, rebounded by Carpenter. Carpenter wants a transition bucket, wants to catch him sleeping. Hazelton another 3, but she's short. Batted around, we're going to get a whistle. That's a foul, and it's going to be on Heidel. Right here, plenty of time for Hazelton to set. Bears are lucky she missed. That could have been a double-digit lead for the Rams.
You can just catch the tail end of that Heidel foul. It looks like she made some contact with Sydney Bradbury.
Bears find themselves in an 8-point hole. At the top of the key, Grassi for 3, badly needed, missed, rebounded by Yell. Just over 6.5 to play in the first half. Carpenter working on Pishi. Carpenter across, Heidel. Yell leaves it for O'Connor. Hazelton kicks it back over to Yell. Yell across, Heidel trying to work her way in. Shot clock is low, she can't spin it up. Rebounded by Cleveland.
You know, if the Bears can't get a score within these next couple possessions, it might be smart just to call a timeout and collect themselves on the bench. And Kayla Thomas almost made that 3. That one bounced in and out.
Tough look, but no luck. Rebounded by Yell.
There have been some tough bounces for the Bears. Erin Rice and Ariel Cleveland had a couple shots earlier in the game.
Outside to Yell. She's sitting in the right corner trying to find somebody. Finds Heidel at the top of the key. She's trying to Euro her way in and toss it up. That is not an easy look. But Caddy Heidel makes it look that way, and the Bears are at a 10-point disadvantage. There's that timeout you talked about.
Yeah, I think it's going to be smart just for them to sit down, kind of collect themselves, and get back into the groove. Down 10 here with 5:40 left to play in the second quarter.
And it's really fascinating. The Bears have come in such a dominant program this year, like we mentioned, undefeated in MASCAC play. They're 15-4 this year for a reason. But we knew from the beginning that the Rams were going to be tough customers, and it's really showing early.
Yeah, the Rams are definitely not slouches, and they don't have quite the record Bridgewater has in the MASCAC. They're coming in at 3-2, just above 500, which is definitely an interesting look for conference play. Kelsey Yell leads them with 10 points.
Bears have an 8-game win streak on the line if they can't get right. Cleveland across to Grassi. Now Bradbury at the left wing, worked on. Gets it over to Pishi. Thomas. Grassi now to Bradbury at the top of the key. She's trying to direct traffic. Grassi takes it back. She wants to pass. She's going to start dribbling instead. Thomas on the right side, and she stepped on the line.
Shot clock was going down there too. Trip comes in, Peachy comes off.
The Bears have found themselves in some tough positions so far today. They remain down 10, 5:12 to go in the first half. Carpenter now to Heidel. O'Connor. Carpenter again gets it back. Top of the key three for Hazelton. That was tall and it bounces off the rim, rebounded by Tripp. Tripp trying to work with haste. Breaks it back out. Grassi, right corner three for Bradbury. No good again. Rebounded by Tavanese. Tavanese nearly gets her pocket pick, but she recovers. Out to Carpenter. Feed inside underneath. That's too easy for O'Connor. And the Rams lead is 12.
I think we're going on an 11-point run uncontested from the Rams right now. It has definitely been a second since Bridgewater's got one to drop.
Thomas decides to take the three herself. Off the iron, rebounded by Carpenter. Bears are finding themselves in rotation. Heidel stepping her way around, hits the deck with Grassi, and they're going to call it a blocking foul on Kylie Grassi.
I'm going to be honest right there, I don't know if that's the right call, but it's the call nonetheless. Sophia Goucher subs in for Sydney Bradbury. Grassi really didn't seem to be moving or anything.
They are starting to look a little lost. Rams have them exactly where they want them. Here's Hazelton. Dish inside, and it is lost by Heidel, out of bounds, and they turn it over.
No, I think that's just what the Bears needed. Just a little slip up defensive or slip up offensively from Framingham. Get them right. Maybe get a bucket here.
Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Grassi across. She just throws it away to O'Connor. That was a bad look. And the Bears turn it over again. Here comes Carpenter. Tavanese at the right wing. Trying to find a recipient. She settles for Heidel on the outside. Across to Carpenter. O'Connor between the circles. She'll work her way across. Tavanese. Shot clock's getting low. It's at 5, and Tavanese is blocked and stolen. A bit of a stalk, if you will, by Kylie Grassi. Inside dish to Goucher, and she is fouled tough as she tries to make her way up to the cup.
So not great for the Bears. Kelsey Yell getting ready to come back on. She was leading Framingham in scoring. This is just what the Bears needed, though, sending Goucher to the line. An opportunity to get a couple points here, cut the deficit down to 10. The last points came on a Kylie Grassi free throw. That feels like it was ages ago now.
Foul, I believe, is on Hazelton. Goucher gets a couple at the line. She makes the first. And some points that are sorely needed for Bridgewater State. You first.
I was going to say, Kylie Grassi, the only player yet to come off the floor for the Bears. Everyone else has seen some time on the bench.
Goucher makes both free throws. She's a 77.5% free throw shooter. But the Bears still in a 10-point hole. Carpenter across. Heidel trying to work in on the left post. She is absolutely dragooned again, and coming away with the steal is Rice. Correction, Thomas. I'm getting my wires crossed. Kayla Thomas had that steal. And I've got a wall in front of me, but I can see clear as day that Cleveland is putting it back up, and two of them are no good and rebounded fiercely by Yell. This is why we need a broadcast booth up above the stands. Bears down 10, 2.5 to go. That one's going to roll out, and it's going to be Bears ball.
Oh, it's definitely nice to have the monitor here. Sometimes the ref and the away coach gets a little bit in the way, specifically to our left. That whistle was right in my ear.
That's going to be a sub rolling in. It's Abigail Martin. Some more Southeasterners coming in. She's from Hanson. 2:36 to go in half number one. Bears down 10. Some time to get right, but they do need to execute. Thomas. Thomas across to Grassi. Long pass to Goucher. Thomas is going to be the recipient again. She thought about a three. She'll take a long two instead and bag it. Kayla Thomas with a much-needed field goal for the Bears.
Nice pass by Sophia Goucher, throwing it completely across the court into Thomas, and then Thomas just knocks down that mid-range shot for her first bucket of the night.
That one is thrown away. It's going to stay with the Rams, though. Bears have brought this lead back within single digits. You see that one. Cleveland got a hand on it, and nobody could recover. We're just a little above 2 minutes to go in the half. Carpenter trying to inbound, and she's going to violate the time.
So, you know, things have been going good for the Bears lately. I mean, they've had a couple, or Framingham's had a couple turnovers. Sophia Goucher got fouled, resulted in a couple points. Turning things around slowly but surely.
And laid on a 5-second rule. Thomas can't hit the three from the left wing, rebounded by Carpenter. Under 2 to go in the first half. Bears down by 8 to the Framingham State Rams. And Martin stepped on the line. Heidel's going to roll back in for her. A minute 43 to go. Here comes Tripp, directing some traffic. Grassi out deep. Across to Thomas. Cleveland on the baseline, posting on Heidel. She'll try to feed it inside. That's a jump ball if I ever saw one, and the possession arrow is going to leave it with the Bears.
And nice defense by Framingham, just swarming to Goucher. Kylie Grassi was wide open at the top, so it's good they stopped the pass from getting over to her.
Grassi stepping into the lane, heaves it up, no good off the backboard, gets back to her. That one's no good either off back iron, rebounded by O'Connor. She just muscles it over to Heidel, and the Rams are on the way. Transition bucket attempt underneath. What an excellent look. Hazelton with a spectacular dish to Yell, who gets the basket and the contact.
So that puts Yell at 12 points on the night so far, tying, oh, no, just one behind Kylie Grassi for the leader in this game.
I'm not sure what just happened. Our PA announcer just said no basket. They're going to say foul on the floor. They're going to say foul on the floor, and I reckon that will mean 2 free throws instead of 1 for Kelsey Yell, but no field goal.
So that puts her back at 10 with the opportunity to get 12, putting her one behind Grassi.
And Bridget Casey, Bears head coach, seems pretty incensed on her sideline. Couple of disputing views. Bridget Casey thinks there shouldn't have been a foul at all, and now that foul has been seemingly waved off. And Rams head coach Walter Pascal had some
things to say.
Some things to say that we cannot share. I'll say that much.
There's some intense discussion going on right here with.
We're going to take you back to this whistle here. The foul they're going to say was committed against Hazelton. Foul was committed against, I think that's what they're saying. Foul was committed against Catherine Hazelton.
It looks like I don't know who it was. It might have been Thomas. Might have made contact with her while she went to the pass.
Lost some momentum bookkeeping, but here's Carpenter now, taking a 3 and making a 3. Rams back in front by 11. Less than a minute to go in the half. Thomas trying to find an outlet, finds it in Goucher. She's going to work her way up, kicks it back out to Tripp. Tripp in the mid-range across to Goucher. She wants a 3 from the right side. That's off the iron. Tough rebound corralled by Yell, and I believe she was fouled.
They're going to call it grab on Kayla Thomas. It's her second foul of the game. Sydney Bradbury is going to come in for her. Kylie Peachy comes in for Caroline Tripp. Kylie Grassie's almost played with 39.3 left. She will have played the full 20 minutes so far of this game.
2 free throws coming out right for Kelsey Yell. She bags that one. Kelsey Yell had taken 8 free throws the entire season coming into this game. This is her 8th free throw of the day.
Really odd that she has not seen that many free throws at all this season, and today she's already matched her season total.
Crummy matchup for the Bears, I suppose. That's why they're in a 12-point hole. Grassie top of the key, 3. Off front iron again. Those shots just have not been falling for the Bears, and Yale corrals the rebound. Carpenter puts that one on molasses and nearly puts Peachy on skids. Trying to fight her way around, a little bit of a hook, kicks it back out underneath from the side for Heidel, and the Rams are getting everything they want. Grassie with a desperation from the free throw line. She's well short. Story of the half for the Bears, and that's how that one is going to end. Woof. Rams with a 14-point advantage heading into the locker room. This is not the story the Bears wanted to write today, but it's the one they've been handed to read. 41-27 Rams at halftime. We'll be right back with you after these messages here on the Bears Sports Network. Stick around.
What does a crisis teach us? We need persistence, knowledge, empathy, action. We need innovators and leaders. Education is critical, and at Bridgewater State University, we're here for you. For a great education, 360 dedicated faculty, hundreds of programs, highly engaged learning, 11,000 hardworking, practical dreamers like you, finding their passion, launching their careers. We've been here for 180 years through all kinds of crises. Student safety, always. Today, online, we're here for you, safely, with academic rigor, one-on-one intensity, and a focus on your future. Tomorrow, together again on campus, we'll be here for you, pushing forward. For tomorrow's crises, for tomorrow's challenges, for tomorrow's jobs, tomorrow's living. We need you, each of you, to persist, connect, innovate, create, learn, and lead.
7:35 remaining. Tatum with the drive.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade. You fuel us, we fuel you.
Welcome to Bridgewater State University.
Welcome to BSU.
Welcome to Bridgewater State University.
Welcome to BSU.
Welcome to Bridgewater State University.
Gatorade packs carbs to refuel and electrolytes to replenish, so you can bring the heat. Nothing beats Gatorade.
The opportunities for me as an undergraduate here at BSU are essentially limitless. I've gotten an internship, I've been going to these great classes. I've definitely been given the ability to pursue something that's so passionate and dear to me.
1 billion people tuning into the match between...
Hey, you ready?
Netherlands and Nigeria before a capacity crowd.
You're not done.
On the attack. Alright, get together, get strong. Oh, excuse me, that's the cover.
Women's football game sets new sales record. Wang Shuang rocks the world yet again.
Biggest turnout ever seen in sports. How does it feel?
It's Barca making a last push, and there's a foul.
That post, Gerard. Okay.
Big opportunity for coach Alex Scott and the team.
PK! Round the back!
Coutinho to PK. Goal! The league's first female coach makes history.
Keeper fires to Dunn. Oh, that's incredible footwork. She's on the move. Big chance for Australia, and Kerr setting up for the kick.
¿Pero qué está pasando ahí?
Hey, you ready?
I think if you're looking for a community that will respect your academic and personal passions and be able to provide one-on-one support, I think Bridgewater is the perfect school for you. I wouldn't trade my experience here for anything. So for me, studying English, you need to be a critical reader, a critical thinker, and a critical analyzer. And I think those are key skills that any employer is looking for.
Gatorade packs carbs to refuel and electrolytes to replenish, so you can bring the heat. Nothing beats Gatorade.
I immigrated to the United States from Haiti in 2010. I attended Bridgewater State University and graduated in 2018. My highlight at Bridgewater was definitely my research work. I have a deep found love for the university simply because they reach out to folks in different communities that may not have opportunities to further their education.
If I could give an athlete one piece of advice, it'd be to find someone committed to taking you down.
And then we hit the field like all day like all night like we hit the field like Dale Thomas like all day like all night.
Because that rival that wants to take you down is going to make you raise your game even higher.
All day like all night like.
In the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, there's a range of degrees such as English, dance, philosophy, psychology. There's a lot to choose from.
Why people should study the humanities is because it gives you humanity. You know, it makes you see things from other perspectives. It makes you walk in somebody else's shoes.
Looking at humanities, that's when you're looking at, okay, who am I? Where did I come from? How does my past correlate with my future? You know what I mean? Humanities, it's a way, whether it be sociology, psychology, philosophy, anthropology, they all are interconnected.
I think if you're looking for a community that will respect your academic and personal passions and be able to provide one-on-one support, I think Bridgewater is the perfect school for you. I wouldn't trade my experience here for anything.
Why should people come to BSU for social work? It's affordable, it's close in location, there's so many opportunities for success. I'm in the social work advisory group, I'm in the Social Work National Honor Society, I've done undergrad research.
Here, it's a welcoming community where, culturally speaking, it's amazing because you get a taste of different culture every other day.
So the opportunities for me as an undergraduate here at BSU are essentially limitless. I've gotten an internship, I've been going to these great classes, I'm able to work part-time on the side on days I'm not in class. As an undergrad here, I'm doing research into the partitioning of Ireland, which I will be looking into the Irish recruitment into the British Army during World War I.
My highlight at Bridgewater was definitely my research work, looking at linguistic readiness amongst Black youth immigrants at the university. I continued the research well after I graduated, and it also helped me get into grad school in the UK.
Another amazing opportunity that I was able to participate in was called a peer assisted learning coach. So I was able to be a pal to other students who were taking social work research methods class.
So I have an internship at Fort Taber, Fort Robin Military History Museum in New Bedford. And I got that internship through BSU.
So for me, studying English and literature in specific, there's a lot of core skills. You need to be a critical reader, a critical thinker, and a critical analyzer outside of the classroom and in. And I think those are key skills that any employer is looking for.
I think critical thinking is imperative for everyone to have, whether you go into history or you go into business or you go into English or math and science, whatever you need.
I feel like I took advantage of every opportunity that came my way and that the social work department had to offer. So there's just really so many opportunities, so many amazing connections.
I think if you're a person who is trying to better understand yourself in our world, I think the humanities is the major for you.
I have a deep found love for the university simply because they reach out to folks in different communities that may not have opportunities to further their education.
Here at BSU, I've definitely been given the ability to pursue something that's so passionate and dear to me.
If I could give an athlete one piece of advice, it'd be to find a rival. Someone committed to taking you down.
And then we hit the field like
They should scare you
all day like all night like
into starting early and staying late. They might be far away or across town, They might be family, but they should make you obsessed. Like this time, it's personal, obsessed. And they'll bring you pain and frustration. You will hate them, but then you'll respect them and love them. Because that rival that wants to take you down is going to make you raise your game even higher.
Well, if you're a Rams fan, you love this. If you're a Bears fan, maybe not. Bridgewater State women's basketball in a 14-point hole to the Framingham State Rams at halftime. It seemed like a pretty tight contest in the early going. Bears had a lead throughout the first quarter, but fell behind considerably in the second quarter, and the field goals just have not been working.
Yeah, a lot of shots missed by the Bears. They slowed down a lot going into the second quarter. It's been rough out there for them. Framingham just ran away with it.
The numbers speak for themselves. Bears just 7 for 31 in the first half from the field. The same percentage from the three-point line, but it hasn't mattered when everything inside the arc has been going like gangbusters for Framingham State.
Now, oddly enough, Bears' Kylie Grassi still leads them in scoring, I believe, with 13, but Kelsey Yell is right on her heels of Framingham State. She's seen several trips to the free throw line so far.
I know we spoke about the length that this Framingham State team brings. They are really tall, and they use it to their advantage, and it shows in that rebounding discrepancy. 26 boards for the Rams, just 14 for the Bears. They have been mercilessly out-rebounded at every single angle so far today. And there are a whole lot of things that Bridgewater is going to have to get right if they want to stay competitive in the second half of this game.
Yeah, especially someone like Caddy Heidel's really been great in the rebounding end for Framingham. Been a big reason why the Bears have been getting out-rebounded. The Bears they picked up some traction near the end of the second, but hopefully they can carry that in.
That's exactly why Heidel's sitting in the low post now. Rams start out with the ball. Carpenter across to O'Connor, the star. O'Connor puts some work in, passes it back out. Here's Hazelton. Putting the spin move, kicks it to Heidel. Heidel on the baseline. Rolls around, no good. Rebounded by Bradbury.
The Bears have been running Goucher on Heidel for a lot of this game, and that's a 4-point height advantage Framingham State's way.
Pesci was unprepared for a long bomb from Bradbury. Check this one out here. Just couldn't quite catch up in time, and the Bears started out with a turnover. Rams lead remains 14, 41-27, 9.5 to go in the third quarter. O'Connor posting on Cleveland, drops it over with Hazelton. Tossed up a three, that's off the iron, no good for Carpenter, rebounded by Bradbury. Bradbury kicks it over to Pesci, back to Cleveland, making some star motions. Here's Goucher at the right wing, kicking it back over to Bradbury. Goucher gets it back, stepping around, Grassi, working in. Back out to Cleveland, that's not usually her shot, the three, and it isn't this time either. Rebounded by Hazelton, who nearly loses it. Interrupted but not lost for the Rams.
Yeah, Goucher got in there and broke that one up from behind, and I think she stepped out of bounds while she had her hand on it.
They're going to say foul. Personal foul, it sounds like, for Sophia Goucher. Her third. And now here's Carpenter on the right side, trying to step her way up on the baseline, spinning around over Cleveland. There's a mismatch. She gets it to Heidel, can't finish. Rebounded by Bradbury. 8.5 to go in the third. No score change yet. 41-27 Framingham it remains. Goucher out to Cleveland. Left side mid-range, no good. Whistle, foul on the floor. And that's going to be on Caddy Heidel.
Yeah, the Bears bench is loving that. This gives them a break they need. Not going to be sending someone to the line, but a nice chance to reset and get right.
Pesci to inbound to Bradbury. Bradbury will just take the three, catch and shoot, and she bags it.
coming off the foul, Bradbury just catch and shoot. Rips one from 3. A big three-point shooter, and she's been good from there all year.
Rams still lead, but it's been trimmed up 41-30 as we slide under 8 minutes to go in the third.
Well, it looks like Kylie Grassi just got her hand on that one. That was a great play, disrupting that shot.
Grassi had a tough block there, and Cleveland hit the deck here. Take a look, Massey, at this. Hazelton gets stuffed, and then Cleveland underneath is railroaded. That foul is on Hazelton. That's going to be her third. And a little bit of foul trouble both ways in the early going. 41-30 Rams. Goucher. Peachy at the top of the key, kicks it over to Bradbury at the left wing. She wants the tray. She misses everything. Caught by Carpenter, and she'll take out the do-it-yourself kit. Heaving it up, no good. Rebounded by Grassi. Grassi breaking the other way. She'll do the same thing and miss the same way. And down hard is Catherine Hazelton, trying to catch her breath.
Yeah, Grassi was just driving to the bucket, and Hazelton caught her. That's going to be a foul on her. Grassi fell down right on top of her. She gets up, though, walking to the bench, a little bit winded.
Hazelton picks up her 4th personal, and now 12.9 points per game, just hit the bench with foul trouble. And here's Grassi at the line, shooting a pair. 7.5 to go in the third quarter, and Grassi brings it back to a 10-point game. Would make it single digits if she hits this next free throw. Crystalie Fernandez out on the floor now for the Rams. Both free throws are good, and Grassi has made this a 9-point game. 41-32. Rams have not scored in the second half. That pass is broken up by Peachy and taken away eventually by Bradbury. Here she comes, putting the other way. Some handles, bouncer underneath to Cleveland. The feed, the finish, and with 7 points left in the third, this is a 7-point game.
A case of right place, right time for Bradbury. Peachy disrupts the pass. She gets it, and then a nice pass to Cleveland into the baseline.
O'Connor, who has been held to just 4 points in this game, makes it 6. Spinning around and hooking it up. 9-point lead for the Rams yet again. Here's Goucher over to Cleveland across. Grassi in the left corner. Thought about it, said nah. She'll dribble her way in, spin around. Pass to Peachy. Across, Goucher at the right wing. Thought about a 3, working her way in. Backing up on Carpenter. A 3 for Cleveland is no good. Disputed and corralled by Yell. They're on the floor. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going the way of the Bears.
Grab the ball! Jump ball, Bears ball.
No, the Bears team seemed to come out in the second half with a little bit more energy than they did earlier, as we see Ariel Cleveland's missed 3-pointer just hit the bottom of the net.
Peachy kicks it back out. Grassi working into the lane, tosses it up off back iron, no good. Rebounded Yell. Kelsey Yell averages 4.5 rebounds a game. I feel like she has to have outpaced that by now. Yes, indeed. She has 8 boards to go with 11 points. She's on double-double watch. O'Connor into the right mid-range, working on the baseline, tossing it underneath. She throws it away to Grassi. Flannery O'Connor, usually a stud for these Rams, has had an off day today. And I believe that's going to be an offensive foul off ball for the Bears.
I think Kylie Grassi might have ran into someone following the pass.
Here's the pass. Yes, she did. She absolutely demolished Crystalie Fernandez.
Don't know if there's much she could have done to prevent that from happening. But nevertheless, good call by the Stripes. Full timeout for the Bears.
Bears are starting to clamber back into this one, but they have not been able to find exactly the footing they're looking for just yet. It's been a lot just in the first few minutes of this half of 2 steps forward and 1 back.
Yeah, they've definitely had some foul trouble, you know, like right there. That's not something you want to see, but they have had some positives so far in the second half.
They've cut this to just a 9-point game, and there it has stayed for a couple of minutes. Not a whole ton of scoring really going on in this second half. Bears have scored just 7 points. Rams have scored just 2.
And you got to like that if you're the Bears. Hopefully it stays that way for their sake. Slowly but surely clawing their way back from the deficit they faced coming into the second half.
Bear Band are going to play us back onto the court. It'll be Framingham State ball in their backcourt.
Caroline Tripp just came on for Kylie Peachy. That's a new substitution, the only one, however.
And the Rams going a lot smaller than usual, running both Carpenter and Fernandez simultaneously. Carpenter over to O'Connor. Between the circles, she's trying to find somebody. She finds Carpenter again. Carpenter at the right wing, kicks it to Fernandez at the top of the key. Fernandez bouncer inside to O'Connor, risky but worked. But O'Connor rainbows too high, and the roll will not go for Kelsey Yell. Rebounded by Cleveland. Here's Tripp. Tripp back out to Grassi. Cleveland. Now here's Goucher. Tripp throws it away. Finds Fernandez, and she's going to try to break quickly. Fernandez back over to Carpenter at the left wing. Carpenter inside, throws it away. That was intended for Yell. Poked away by Grassi and eventually to Goucher.
Nice job keeping it inbounds by Grassi off the steal, getting it over to Goucher. Quick reaction by her to keep it inbounds.
Bradbury tags and bags a triple, and the Rams lead is down to 6. Here's O'Connor trying to get some of it back, and she'll pull away too, just working in unharmed.
Hasselton near the scorer's table, getting ready to come back on.
Grassi a 3. Another one, back-to-back trays for the Bears.
They just let her shoot that one. That was completely uncontested, and Kylie Grassi's not the player you want to leave like that.
A couple of defensive lapses beyond the arc for the Rams, and their lead dwindles to 5. Just over 4 to go in the third quarter. Tough work with the Euro step for Kelsey Yell. She finishes through some contact, but no whistle. Rams lead back up to 7. We've slipped below the 4-minute mark. Here's Grassi. Back out, risky pass, but it works to Bradbury. Top of the key is Cleveland. She's not going to take it from there, though. She'll try to work her way in. And that's going to be a charge.
That last 3 by Grassi puts her at 18 in both of her last 2.
Flannery O'Connor forces the turnover, extracts a personal foul from Ariel Cleveland.
Crystalie Fernandez comes out while Hasselton goes in for Framingham.
Rams have the ball with a 7-point advantage and 3:41 left in the third. O'Connor, now Heidel at the top of the key, kicks it over to Carpenter at the left wing, pass across to Hazelton. Hazelton putting some footwork. She'll step up to the mid post, trying to bounce it to O'Connor. That was risky. She's trying to pull it up through some feet. I don't even know what the heck that call was. I guess it's a jump ball. Didn't see any jump ball signals. Jump ball it is. And the possession arrow leaves it with Framingham. Carpenter to inbound. Long ball to Yell. It works. Yell stepping into the lane with haste. She's stripped. And it'll stay with Framingham.
So the Bears still trail by 7, but that's a great defensive possession there for that. Wait, no, apparently, yeah, it did stay with Framingham. I thought it went out on Yell.
3 from the corner, just barely avoiding a shot clock violation, but no basket for Hazelton. Up is Grassi, counted and 1. Kylie Grassi gets a free throw that could make this a 4-point game.
So they're going to call that one on Kelsey Yell. Her first personal of the game. Kylie Grassi goes to the line. I believe this is her 4th trip. Might be her 5th by now.
Yell, indeed, for what it's worth, has locked up that double-double, 13 points and 10 boards. And with Grassi's free throw, it's a 4-point lead for the Rams. They led by 14 at halftime, and now they're starting to fall into the soup. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Framingham. Into Heidel. Heidel loses it. Bradbury trying to break the other way, get 2 back. She's fouled.
think that one's going to go on Gwendolyn Carpenter, but nice play here by Bradbury, just picking it away from Heidel, trying to drive to the basket. Yeah, Carpenter just absolutely gets her arm in there and hits Bradbury.
One former MASCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week sends another former MASCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week to the line, but Bradbury misses the first. She could bring this within a possession if she makes the second. That she'll do. Rams lead at 47-44. We're below 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Carpenter, watched closely by Tripp, trying to post on her a bit out deep and eventually spins around. She's going to try to take it all the way herself, and she does. That worked very well for Gwendolyn Carpenter, and the Rams are back up 5.
Almost gets away from Tripp down near the sideline over there.
Tough defensive stretch. O'Connor stuffs Cleveland underneath.
If you're the Bears, you just need to prevent scoring here. Go down to your end and get one in.
Carpenter trying to find a dish closer inside. She'll find Yell. Yell up along the baseline underneath. Doesn't get the roll. Not enough English. Rebounded by Goucher, excuse me. Here comes Tripp across. Goucher thought about a three, said nah. She'll kick it out to Grassi, who'll do more than think about a three, but it's off front iron. Rebounded by Carpenter. Rams grip onto their 5-point lead with rigor mortis. Under 2 minutes to play in the third.
Peebles getting ready to come on for the Bears. I'd assume Cleveland comes off now. And it looks like they're going to put in Abigail Martin for her first trip to the court as well.
O'Connor no good on 2 separate tries, but draws a whistle on the second, and she's going to get a couple at the free throw line. The guilty party is going to be Cleveland. And Ariel Cleveland picks up her second personal. Peebles in for the Bears. Rice in 2.
So that's Bradbury going off for Rice. Kylie Grassi so far has played the entire game for the Bears.
Flannery O'Connor is getting her first 2 free throws of the game, but she is the 76.5% free throw shooter. Not somebody you want to send to the line if you can avoid it. She makes the first. The Bear band clapping. They've got some words for her, but it is useless. And she extends the Rams lead back to 7. A minute and a half to go in quarter number 3. Tripp nearly loses it off the pass. That was a collision. I don't even know what the heck was going on down there, and they're going to say Framingham State ball. Evidently a charge.
So we get the replay coming right here, and Tripp just ran into someone. I think that was Hazelton.
I think they said out of bounds, if you can believe it. Oh no, double dribble. I stand corrected. Rams have the ball with a 7-point lead. Here's Carpenter breaking through a lot of contact, trying to finish. She can't. She gets stuffed. She's going for her own miss, and she will. And now she pulls a foul. And that foul is courtesy of Jordan Peebles. Jordan Peebles picks up her first personal of the day. And Abigail Martin from not far away in Hanson gets a couple of free throws. Makes the first. Martin shooting just 35% from the free throw line so far this year. Goes 1 for 2. Rams lead is 8. Just over a minute to go in the third. Peebles at the top of the key, swings it back over to Grassi, working her way in, trying to stuff it up through contact, not even close. And it's pulled out of the air by O'Connor. Under a minute in the quarter. Carpenter stepping her way in, trying to feed it underneath to Yell. She does, and Yell finishes the work. 10-point Rams lead yet again.
So the Rams kind of interrupting the Bears' rally back.
Rice with an air ball. It is gathered by Peebles, but she can't finish, and the Rams are going to pull it away. Tripping and falling over nothing is Hazelton, but she gets it back. Shot clock is off.
Grassy with a steal.
Waza, she likes doing that, trying to finish it off the backboard, and she does. 10 seconds to go, not even. Carpenter takes it across. Needs to work with haste if she wants a bucket. At the last second, Hazelton misses everything.
So going into the fourth quarter, 46-54, Bears trailing Framingham.
They're working their way back.
Slowly but surely.
It's not about the destination, it's the journey, but the Bears are really taking the scenic route. They're down 8 as we head to the fourth quarter here on the Bears Sports Network. The Bears have 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get back in the car and start driving here. They start quarter number 4 at an 8-point disadvantage. Their rivals, the Rams of Framingham State, up 54-46. Two of the best units doing it in MASCAC women's basketball. And the Bears have gotten all they can handle and then some. Here's Grassy at the left wing. Working on Yell, kicks it back over to Tripp between the circles. Tripp over to Rice. Rice working inside with the left hand off back iron, no good. Rebound disputed and eventually corralled by Caddy Heidel.
Heidel did just come in off the bench after stepping out for some of that third quarter.
That was not an easy look, but Gwendolyn Carpenter made it look that way, and the Rams are back up 6. No basket, but a foul on Tripp's benefit. The guilty party
Carpenter
is going to be Carpenter. Here we go. Gwendolyn Carpenter, 13 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, and 3 personal fouls. And now at the stripe for 2 is Tripp. First is no good off back iron. We've seen a couple of troublesome missed free throws, not a ton, but enough in this situation to be cause for concern for the Bears. Tripp goes 1 for 2. 9-point Rams lead. Carpenter sticking this one in molasses. Directing some traffic, and now she'll cross. Here's Hazelton at the right wing, working her way around, tossing it to nobody. Seemingly intended for Heidel, but missed her by a mile, and the Bears are going to get it back. Tripp takes it across. O'Connor, the superstar, preparing to check back in, but she's been limited to just 10 points and 8 boards today. Grassy at the top of the key. Over to Tripp. Tripp into the lane, feeding underneath Cleveland. That was a high ball, and she gets it to fall. Rams lead trimmed to 7. 8:41 to go in regulation. Here's Carpenter again. Carpenter stepping. Here's Hazelton. Carpenter thought about a left side 3, said no, kicks it back over to Hazelton deep at the left wing. She works her way around, a self-screen by Rice, tosses it up, no good off the rim. Offensive board by Martin. Back out to Hazelton. Carpenter. Pushing back. Pass inside to Heidel. She is absolutely dogged, but she gets it nonetheless. 8 minutes to go in regulation. Back out left corner 3 for Grassy. She tags it and bags it.
Nice passing there, finding the open player. Grassi knocking down another three, cutting the lead to 6. Flannery O'Connor still yet to come on. She's been sitting at the scorer's table for a couple possessions now.
Martin, pass inside, nearly interrupted. Heidel, everything in her power to keep it in bounds. Here's Hazelton for 3. Off front iron, just glanced it, no good. That's out of bounds, and the ref caught it. It's going to stay with Framingham State, and now here comes O'Connor.
That's Abigail Martin stepping off. And that out-of-bounds ball went off of Ariel Cleveland.
7.5 minutes in regulation. Rams lead it 58-52. 6 points now. They led by 14 at halftime. And as soon as some tape is applied to the leg of Caroline Tripp, we'll be underway. Crowd's feeling it for some reason.
I think she was bleeding a little bit.
They're going to tape her up like a mummy, and we're back in action. Rams ball. Inbound to O'Connor, right underneath the catch and push up. And that's exactly the kind of thing Flannery O'Connor, excels at. Cleveland back out to Grassi, now Tripp. Tripp across, Goucher. Stepping her way in, kicks it over. Grassi thought about a left wing 3, said no. Steps inside, floats instead, and she bags that one. Rams lead back down to 6. Here comes Hazelton. Hazelton in the right mid-range, up. Counted and one. The hoop and the harm for Catherine Hazelton. And she's going to get a free throw.
That one's going to go against Erin Rice. Yeah, she made some contact with Hazelton as she went up for that 3.
Hazelton, a 51.4% free throw shooter. She has yet to take one today. And now she's 1 of 1 from the stripe on the afternoon.
Bradbury and Rice out for Bridgewater.
Goucher, a long pass to Tripp. Underneath 7 minutes in regulation, Bears are down 9 to the Rams. Tripp inside to Cleveland, triple team, getting stuffed. Jump ball, possession arrow, gives it to Framingham State. What a defensive play by the Rams. Keeping mind of the possession arrow.
Ariel Cleveland just absolutely swarmed right there. Peebles comes in for her.
Carpenter forces the turnover off the possession arrow, jump ball. And it is Carpenter keeping this one in amber, nice and slow. Yell working her way up on the baseline. She wants to push it up. Rainbows over everything, no good. Caught by Carpenter. Back out to O'Connor. Inside, she misses her intended target, Yell, and that's a Rams turnover. Tripp working inside, out to Bradbury, across to Goucher at the left wing. Peebles at the top of the key. Here's Grassi to Bradbury, inside to Cleveland all by herself. And an excellent dish by Sydney Bradbury to the waiting Cleveland.
I think it was Peebles just checked in for Cleveland.
Framingham State wants to talk things over. This is a 7-point game yet again. Rams with the lead, but the Bears are just not going away with 6:06 left in regulation.
It's going to be just a 30-second timeout for Framingham. So it'll take a minute to collect themselves.
Something that really stands out, if you can believe it, looking at the scoreboard, Framingham State has committed more turnovers this game than Bridgewater has. The Rams have turned it over 20 times, the Bears just 15. It's those points off turnovers, 21 for the Bears, just 13 for the Rams, that are really keeping Bridgewater State in action.
Yeah, Bridgewater's also had some trouble shooting from the field as well. Framingham's been slightly better at that.
O'Connor. Inside underneath, Heidel. They give Bridgewater a taste of their own medicine to step back in front by 9. Under 6 to go in regulation. Peebles hands it back off to Tripp. She's going to work up the baseline and kick it back out, and she stepped on the line, I believe. An unfortunate Bears turnover right out of the timeout, and particularly unfortunate in light of the Rams field goal that preceded it. Rams lead by 9 with just over 5.5 to go. O'Connor loses it, but it is picked back up by Hazelton. She heaves it up, bounces around, no good. Rebounded by Grassi, stolen by Yell. Great read. Heidel trying to find somewhere to go, pivoting, and she's fouled on the way up.
Hey, they're going to call that one against Peebles. We'll see the replay right here. Yeah, I don't. Peebles just kind of stood there, and I don't. Maybe she leaned into it a little bit, but
I hate to be that guy, but you might have a case for a travel, but it didn't appear to be seen. And it's going to be a couple of free throws coming the way of Caddy Heidel, who for a center or center-like player is very competent at the stripe. 78.8%. She's no slouch at the free throw line. She hits them both, and the Bears are back down 11. 5:20 to go in regulation. Bradbury. Here's Goucher across to Peebles at the left wing, trying to find somebody, anybody, finds Tripp. A temporary outlet, and she gets it to Grassi. Grassi in the left mid-range, backing up in the lane, heaving it up, and she gets a very lucky roll. Rams lead back down to 9. Carpenter pushing the brakes, and that's going to be a blocking foul on Tripp.
So Cleveland's coming in, Peebles coming off for the Bears.
Under 5 minutes in regulation.
Third foul by Tripp.
Heidel stepping up on the left post, and that's an offensive foul that time. Goucher, as she so often does, takes a heck of a lot of contact on the drive in, and Caddy Heidel is whistled for the offensive foul. That's her third. Tripp. Sub 5 minutes to go in regulation. Bears down 9. Cleveland. Tripp back up top. Tripp stepping in, back out to Bradbury. Left side three, good.
Sydney Bradbury has been absolutely lethal from 3. And they're going to call a foul on Caroline Tripp.
Before the inbound.
I think she's going to come off and Peachy's going to come on. I think that's her 4th foul. Didn't exactly catch what that was.
Caroline Tripp, 1.1 rebound, but 6 assists. She has contributed even when the buckets aren't falling. O'Connor, long pass across to Hazelton. Out to Heidel. Interior, Yell, just up and over Grassi. 8-point game, 4 minutes to go. Grassi back out. Goucher thought about it, said no, works up on the baseline, and she'll settle for 2 instead through some contact. Rams lead it, but by 6. That's a whistle and a foul on Kylie Peachy, and the room is starting to get a little bit tense.
Yeah, Peachy Goucher, we're not happy with that, and there's a couple people in the stands who would agree with them.
The reception in the room was negative. Carpenter gets a pair at the free throw line. Her 3rd and 4th of the day, and she hits that one. Gwendolyn Carpenter averages 7.3 points a game. Today she has 14. Looking to make it 15. And that's what she does.
You know, I can understand some of the frustration with the Bears players feeling like the calls haven't been going their way. And it's definitely even worse when you're down in a game like this. Well, there's a call that does go their way.
Bradbury muscles her way through some contact, trying to reverse it up, or at the very least fake it up, and she'll get a pair at the line. Sydney Bradbury has gone 1 for 2 at the stripe so far today. She has 15 points and makes it 16 with that. Two for 2. Bears back within 6. That seems to be their magic number. Carpenter, nearly stolen by Pesci, but she maintains. Carpenter trying to just foist it up, and she can't. Pesci the other way. Out to Bradbury in the corner. Goucher, 3, tagged and bagged.
So Sophia Goucher cuts the deficit down to 3, and what a game she's having in her first game back.
Rams in trouble. 3 minutes to go. They're only up 3 points. Carpenter stepping into the right mid-range on Pesci. She tosses it up and draws the foul. Pesci's second personal. And the Framingham State Rams are in the bonus. So they'll be shooting free throws for almost 3 minutes. And here's a couple coming up for Gwendolyn Carpenter. Carpenter has just done it all today. She could darn well be on triple-double watch. 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. There is not a single facet of the game where Carpenter has failed to contribute today, including at the stripe. 6 for 6. Rams back in front by 5. Bradbury back out to Cleveland, passing it around in the circle. Grassi stuck in the corner, doesn't like it, works her way in, heaves it up, no good, rebounded by Yell. Carpenter. Trying to work around a half-hearted screen by O'Connor, it looked like. Hazelton thought 3, said nah, steps inside, passes it, throws it away, nearly. Will she? They're going to say she did not. That was tough by Bridgewater State, trying to leave it alone, thinking they were going to turn the Rams over, but in the end they played themselves. 2:21 to go in regulation. Rams with a 5-point lead. Heaving up a 3, no good for Carpenter, rebounded by Bradbury. She'll break it across quickly. She wants some fast break points, and she'll get them.
Sydney Bradbury with a nice hustle on that play. Pulls up, drops the 2 right in there, and cuts the deficit to 3.
Rams lead is trimmed back down again. Under 2 to go.
Now the last thing you want here is a foul or that.
Heidel finishing through some near contact. Puts the Rams back up 2 possessions. Pesci over to Grassi. Here's Goucher between the circles, watched by Heidel. She'll kick it over to Cleveland. Grassi for 3, off the rim, gets her own miss deep. Kicks it over to Bradbury, and they're going to try to set a little bit. Pesci. Goucher between the circles, now watched by Yell. Here's Grassi at the right wing. Bradbury working her way around, heaves it up. That was way too much, and it's rebounded by O'Connor.
Timeout Framingham. Well, they wanted one.
They wanted one, and it's going to be out of bounds off of them instead. And Walter Pascal looks like he's about to blow a gasket, and frankly, I don't blame him. You and I both heard timeout.
Yeah, I don't know if any of the players did, though, because no one called it. Bridgewater's going to call one anyway.
Bridgewater is heard on their timeout request with 59.5 seconds left in regulation. The Bears are down 5 to the Rams. This has really gotten a lot more exciting in the closing moments here.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Bears have little time to work with, but I think they can do it. You just have to limit the fouls and not let up any points. Or at least that's half the battle. Done a nice job rallying back from a much larger deficit. They've worked themselves into a couple times, but they've been able to come back from it.
The one thing that has kept the Bears alive, especially with a couple of clutch shots in this quarter, is these three-pointers. Bears are shooting 10 for 30, 33.3% from three. The Rams are just 2 for 15 from beyond the arc. Peachy stepping around, working on Heidel. Pass over the top to Goucher. She kicks it back out and she took a walk with it. Costly, crucial turnover.
Tripp comes in.
And the 30-second timeout for the Rams.
Tripp comes in, Bradbury comes off. I think they're gonna stick with that 5 coming out of the timeout. They're bearing a sub in the last 47 seconds. Kylie Grassi will have played all 40 minutes of this game. She has made most of it as well.
She has been a workhorse, certainly. A heck of a contributor, 30 points. She leads all scorers, and it's not really even close. 7 boards as well, but it has just not been enough to survive this onslaught. Framingham State has done really what the Bears usually do, spreading out this scoring. And it has kept Framingham State alive to a considerable degree. That scoreboard speaks for itself.
Yeah, Bradbury has 19. Goucher follows her with 10, but nobody else in the double digits. Cleveland the next up with 6.
Inbound for the Rams. Here's Heidel. Trying to survive the onslaught. Hazelton over to Carpenter. Foul nearly given, but not. Carpenter trying to step away. And now there's that foul. Peachy's going to take it. Two free throws for Carpenter. She hasn't missed one today, and she won't start with that one. What a day Carpenter has had. 17 points. She's within striking distance of a triple-double. Bears are going to take another timeout. This one will be full. They find themselves in a 7-point hole with 37.5 seconds left in regulation. And their 8-game win streak is in very serious jeopardy.
Yeah, well fought by the Bears, though. They were in a much larger hole earlier in the game. They've been able to work it back, not to the extent they'd like, but nevertheless, a valiant effort on their part.
Certainly, again, as we mentioned at the top of this broadcast, this Framingham team is competitive, competitive, competitive. No matter how this shakes out, there will be no shame in the result for either side. And it will be certainly quite the coup for Framingham head coach Walter Pascal, as we mentioned at the top of this broadcast, a Bridgewater State alumnus coming back to his school and extricating a win from the jaws of the best team in MASCAC basketball.
Yeah, this would break the Bears' undefeated streak in the MASCAC, sitting at 6-0 right now. That would put Framingham at 4-2.
And to say nothing again of an 8-game win streak. This Bears unit has not lost a game for almost a month. 37.5 seconds to go. Rams are up 7. And they're going to take another timeout, the Bears will. Another full timeout for Bridgewater State before they even inbound the ball.
Maybe some mind games here. Maybe they wanted a little bit more time. I'm not quite sure, but interesting to call. I mean, you might as well burn them while you have them.
the recipe is looking tougher and tougher for Bridgewater State. They're down a couple of possessions. It would be really, really something for them to come back within with just 37.5 seconds left on the clock. For all intents and purposes, that's one possession. At least for the Bears it is.
Yeah, if Framingham gets their hands on it for an extended period of time, that's not going to be a good look for the Bears.
Here's the action now. 37.5 to go. Rams up 7. Pesci to inbound. Grassi out to Goucher, heaving up a 3, right wing, got it! It's a 4-point game, but will it be enough? 30-second timeout for Framingham State. They're going to figure out how they want to respond to that. Well, that was the bucket they needed, but only time will tell if it is enough for Bridgewater State to stay in this thing.
Nice pass right here by Grassi, just right to Goucher. Doesn't even hesitate. Drops one right in the bucket. 33.9 left.
That is clutch with a capital C.
It's going to be tough. Framingham could chew a sizable portion of this, and the way they've been shooting out the line, if you intentionally foul them, I'm not sure that's going to go your way.
There's a 3.9-second difference between the shot and game clocks. It seems likely that Bridgewater will end with the last possession if they choose. Heidel is immediately fouled.
Goucher almost got the steal there. Heidel lost control of it for a second. They're going to call the hold on her.
That's her 4th. And it sends Caddy Heidel, who is 2 for 2 from the stripe today, 78.8% on the season, to the free throw line with a 4-point lead and 31.9 seconds left.
Bradbury's checking in for Tripp.
If Heidel can hit both of these, she may well have iced it. And the Bears' 8-game win streak starting to seem a lot like it's going to cap off there, unfortunately for Bridgewater State. Heidel hits them both. Bears are going to take another time. They are. Did they even have a timeout?
On the graphic, it doesn't show a timeout, so I'm not too sure, but none of the refs noticed.
A possible gift timeout for Bridgewater State. 31.9 seconds in regulation. Maybe it was a pity timeout. Bears are down 6. 31.9 seconds to go in this game. And what a deflating loss it would be. The 8-game win streak ending on their home floor. Not exactly going to be the death knell for their season, certainly, but something you want to avoid.
Yeah, best case for them, someone hits a quick 3 like Goucher did just a minute ago, and then Framingham misses a shot, but I'm not sure why they'd even bother taking one.
Bradbury trying to find a spot, any spot. She'll just heave up a 2, miss it, no good. Yell's going to pass, try to avoid the foul. Rams are going to keep it. 22.8.
That one went off Bradbury. Crystal Fernandez subbing off. She just came in. They're going to send in Hasselton.
Shot clock is off. 22.8 left in regulation. The Rams have the ball and a 6-point lead. Pesci steals it off the inbound. The reverse misses everything. Rebound Tripp out to Goucher. Here's Cleveland trying to come in. Bank one in. Roll is no good.
That's a tough roll for Ario Cleveland. Went around the rim a little bit.
Heidel is fouled, and the Rams are going to win this game. Wow. A tough comeback attempt in the second half by the Bears. But it does not seem like it will be enough. And with 11.6 seconds left in the game and a 6-point advantage, Caddy Heidel heads to the line to finish off what we already knew was coming. First one is good. Walter Pascal tells the troops no fouls.
Not quite sure at this point that matters.
Heidel bags them both. She's been key from the free throw line.
8-point lead. Bradbury and Tripp have been playing some musical chairs here for the last couple minutes of the fourth. Bradbury checks back in. Goucher going to roll the ball up to not waste any time.
Peachy out, grassy three, no good, and that'll do it. Rams will pass it around, and it's a fait accompli, as they say in Francais. The Bears' 8-game win streak meets an end at the hands of another very tough MASCAC competitor. Framingham State comes to the Tinsley Center and snatches a win. Your final score, Rams 81, Bears 73. A tough contest, and the Bears certainly still looking to keep on rolling with a wonderful season in the offing. But they meet their match today, and the Rams fight a good fight and avenge an earlier loss. Your final score, Rams 81, Bears 73.
Oh, sorry.
You first.
We'll be back here with another doubleheader coming this Wednesday.
Another tough contest. They're going to be taking on Worcester. Actually, I believe. No, this women's unit is going to be on the road, I believe. We'll be here. No. I stand corrected. Next Saturday. Come back next Saturday, folks. We're getting our dates wrong.
Bad.
Next Saturday, February 4th, we'll be right back here at the Tinsley Center. These same two Bears units are welcoming the Lancers of Worcester State University. Until then, ciao, ciao on the Bears Sports Network. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Luke Mansfield.
Thanks so much for joining us for this doubleheader. And remember that every day is a great day to be a Bear. Take care of yourselves, folks.